Hi, I'm Liz, the creator of The Mubbles, and welcome to the Isle of Smile. I'm going to show you how to draw the Slug of Knowledge. The Slug of Knowledge knows everything. So for the Slug of Knowledge, the drawing, you'll need a pencil, a black pen, rubber, and some things to colour with. I'm going to use these nice big thick pens, but you can use a pencil or crayons or any other kind of colouring in material that you've got. You can even use some paint if you want to. Okay, let's get drawing. So we're going to start at the top of the page, and I'm going to do with my black pen. Yeah, so it's like two little sort of circles. Those are the Slug of Knowledge's eyes. Okay, and then the line goes down like that. Same on the other side. And then you join that up. Slug of Knowledge is usually sitting on a leaf and eating and contemplating. So draw a line down like that. And then we do the same on the other side. Give it a bit of a curve. Imagine it hasn't quite got like a face, or a head rather. The whole body is sort of its head. Right, and I'm going to go around like that. Do a nice curved line. If you want, you can sketch it out in a pencil. You can use your pencil line. Just sketch something out and then rub out the pencil line afterwards. But, you know, don't worry about making a mistake. I'm going to go around like that. There we are, that's a nice Slug of Knowledge shape. Okay, let's do the eyes. So if you draw a line across, like that, I'm just going to thicken up that line there. And let's draw its mouth. Little curvy line there. I'm going to add a leaf in. And then just at the bottom there. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the centre and draw a dot. But if you do like a half circle, it's a bit like, just gives the character, a bit more character to the Slug of Knowledge. There we are. And the Slug of Knowledge is always sitting on a leaf, so it can have a snack as well. Okay, so leaves are fun to draw, and you don't have to be too tight about this. Just a nice big leaf shape. There we go. One there. And then maybe another one. Yeah, that's a nice shape. And then we're going to draw, imagine that Slug of Knowledge is sitting inside, so the leaves go round to the side there. Another one here. And maybe a few nibbles out of the side, like that. And then one down here. And then the slug's going to be sitting on a big leaf like that. Another one there. Okay. That's the fun part. Maybe a little nibble up there as well. So now you've got your Slug of Knowledge. Okay, I'm going to colour it in. So I'm going to use this nice big thick marker using the pointy bit, the tip, brush pen. It's a good place to start at the top. A little tip for you here. If you've got a big space, you can go around the outside like so. I'm just going to leave a little space here, and it's going to be, that's for a leaf. Now I'm going to take the nice big thick end of the pen there, and I'm just going to colour in the rest of the body. If you colour it in a curved way, like that, you're kind of following the shape of the slug. Okay, next I'm going to colour in the leaves. And for this, you don't have to be too neat and tidy. You might even use a thick bit then. You can leave a little bit of white paper. I'll show you what I mean. Now, remember that white space there? I'm just going to colour that in green. Now let's take another colour green. I'm just going to add some detail to the leaves. And also, if you put a little bit of the dark green there, just where the slug is, kind of looks like the leaves are inside and the slug is being surrounded by leaf. Bit of a leaf pattern. See, I've just taken the dark and run it all the way underneath. It looks like the slug is sitting on the leaf there. Add a little bit of leaf detail. A few movement lines there, because you can just imagine the slug chewing that leaf. There we go. And there you have it. There is our fabulous slug of knowledge who knows everything. And then when it's stopped eating, the leaves will close up and you won't be able to see it anymore. So have fun. Go and draw yourself a lovely slug of knowledge. Brilliant.